about that shit.
The Amish pod is just as dope.
Word up.
And it's the young OG Mugzy.
Word up.
Mugzy McFly.
What's good?
What's good, man? We here in his new design studio, creative studio.
Yes, sir.
In the creative space, you know, however you like the word things, because everybody likes to word things different.
Shit.
But yeah, man, dope spot right in the BX, man. Congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
Word.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, for those people that might not be familiar with you, how would you explain that? They would say, well, what is the brand? What is Mugzy McFly?
The brand is just an extension of me and my experiences, and just a little sample of the Bronx.
Yeah.
The untouched, the ungentrified New York City, the drenched in 96, 97.
No doubt.
That
The best borough in New York City.
Yo, we uptown for real right now.
not
like train.
I hear that.
We uptown for real.
Not even like
this is
Harlem.
This is
the best borough.
New York State is right there. Right uptown. I'm just the man. Just like to have fun. I do what I do. Save the day sometimes. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Real simple.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man. Now, what are some of your? What could you say was your early introduction into fashion, your own personal style, but beyond what you're doing now, but what's your inspiration that made you say?
I would. It's funny because I have two. One that I don't remember because I was a kid. My mom told me when I used to go to stores, I was addicted to Pro Kids. The Keds, Keds had the little blue box and it said Keds. And my mom said I used to go to the store, and if my shoes didn't have a blue box on the back of it, I wouldn't take it.
Oh, nice.
So if she couldn't afford Keds or didn't like the ones that was there, she'd beg the person that was selling them. That's in Sears and Cross County back in the day. And they used to draw a blue box on it. And if I see it, before I could say people's name, I recognize the brand.
Nice.
I wish you would have told me that earlier, because then I would have been a designer from jump.
Yeah.
I heard that story, I was like, damn, you tell me that now? Damn, and then as a adult, I guess just the simple fact of being a smaller dude. I remember the Jordan French Blue 7s and the Raptor 7s came out. Nice. And Fab had the Raptor jersey and he had one of the Tennessee, the Titans jersey. And I was a smaller dude. I was 4'11" and shorter. Can't wear no football jersey. I can't wear the baggy jeans. So I had to make my own stuff. Nice. So I used to go to this spot, SNS on White Plains Road 236, to go get my own custom stuff. Now they Diamondback and they buy Stillwell. But that was the first introduction to actually trying to find my own style, because I legit couldn't wear the stuff. I'm too big for the big kids and I'm too small for the men's section.
Right.
So I was right in the middle.
Had to get in where you fit in.
Yeah.
And now you born and raised in
Born and raised in the Bronx, uptown, home of homes. I'm gonna be here for a while. Love it here.
Word. So designing your first. I used to do that, do it yourself type of shit. I used to go to Army and Navy stores, get patches.
Don't still do it. He got a pair of Air 9s.
It's so funny because now you see Nike start dropping bandana in the checks.
Yeah.
And even Timberland, back in the days, me and my friends used to buy the $2 bandanas and cut the shit out and do it ourselves just to be different. And now they selling it almost 20 years later. It's crazy.
Word up, and Nike, like you said, Nike ID give you the option to do that. I do all my Air Force Ones with the gun bottom, my own Nike ID, all that. So it's came a long way, and I feel like Dapper Dan getting the he just got the award,
Lifetime
award. He's the first black designer to get that.
I'm not gonna lie, yo. I feel a way. I really feel a way about that, because he getting his flowers, but it's at their expense, because they ran out of the resources and they kind of using him now. And I'm kind of upset because not too long ago they were playing him. He was the original bootlegger, but he had the stars and the people under the stars looking great.
I think they had no choice but to pay respect, because in my opinion, I feel you have style and fashion, right? Dapper Dan is a style,
of course,
right? So they take his style and manipulate that into fashion, right? And you still see it, our style, our everyday style, or even the construction workers' everyday style somehow ends up on the runway and becomes fashion. You get what I'm saying?
Because it's all tied into the culture and everything at one point. And, you know, those people that sell it to us, they're not a part of it. So they just they tap in the resource, they go to the rainforest, steal the water, and sell it back to us on the bottom.
Of course, like even like we might not think of it, but like a lot of the silhouettes and things we love come from like, let's say like the industrial workers, like, you know, like Double RL brands, like, or like a big or any Nijo brand is really like industrial inspired wear, like, you know,
that shit that's grounded people. That's real people right there. That's actually boots on the ground type situation. So of course they're gonna take that. That's like the street.
You see what we at right now? Some of the illest style comes from over here. You know, I love Clarks, right? But these OGs over here, they show you how to wear that shit without even trying. They just wake up. It's like, you know what that saying, like, it's not what's on you, it's what's in you.
We uptown with the yardies at, man. Of course. Right place road.
You don't know.
Word up.
Yeah, but I've always felt like fashion should like be genuine. It should be a product of your environment. It's just things you grew up. Like a lot of the style things I see going on now is just things me and my friends used to cut ass on. Like, yo, you can't wear no all black Air Force Ones. You can't wear mids. Like, it's mad shit that
we're not doing that. You can't. Mids are mids.
Those are mid protected.
Nah. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not gonna lie, my favorite Air Force One of all time was the white mids with the green neon 3D check. But then once I went to 4th grade, it was over.
Yeah, it's an era, and I go through this a lot. Don't worry about it. Like, you know, there's a lot of men hate, but I really feel
there's a lot of in our culture, the absolute test of fashion is cutting ass. I remember I used to watch Air One mixtapes when I wanted to play ball. So I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna play ball, I wear Air One shirts and Air One shoes. Nah, can't do that. I went to gym with the Air One shoes, and they're like, boy, what is you doing? And that was suicide.
Another part of it is I guess it's kind of like making certain shit look good, because like the NYC mids always were valid, right? But there is some ugly, you know, connotation that comes with all black Air Force One. It's hard, but it's cooked all black. Like low top all black Air Force One is valid, but it's the ones that are really beat up that you gotta watch.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not going on vacation with them black anything. Triple black anything is dirty work. I don't care about them joints that got a little Supreme on the side. Dirty work.
So hold on, you know, you remember I know you were part of the ACG era.
I ain't gonna lie. By the time the ACGs came around, I was fashionable enough. Yeah. No ACGs. No Vasquez.
Nasty work out.
Yeah, you didn't wear Vasquez?
The reason I didn't wear Vasquez is because they had my size.
Come on, I'm about to say.
But I ain't get Vasquez. I wanted them. And then by the time it came, I was like, I didn't have style them.
Damn, so like there was a time when these boots were respectable.
Very
respectable. But it's a lot of
these are my ACGs?
No, but a lot of these things are regional.
No, but and we wore them shits, and we'll keep it fly. We were a little older, right? So we wore them to get in the spots.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they banned Timbs,
at one point.
You know what I'm saying? When they banned Timbs.
Fake. They fake. The bouncers didn't know what they was yet.
Yeah,
so like,
they were
like cakes. All right, go ahead.
It's funny though. It's funny because like I feel like it's regional. So like what kind of boots you wear. So it's like I'm not an A solo cat. You get what I'm saying?
That's a little bit before.
But
that's a little bit before.
Yeah, it's a little bit before.
There's dudes that like, nah, you bugging.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
love A solos.
Nah, but you know what's funny?
I'm saying when it was really like biting. It was 91, 92. They had
a surge back because I'm no Planet Earth on Fordham used to sell them for a while, and a lot of my friends used to get them. Yeah. But I really feel like it depends. It's sure what crowd you chill with, because if you had a Mermont, a Biggie.
Oh yeah,
a Biggie Merlin and them ACGs, you was a gangster.
Yeah, you
was out trapping. You was ready to fight, and ain't nobody taking this Merlin.
Biggie, if you had a Biggie and
Biggie, the Mermont hat and the ACGs, and not a champion, a Bambian hoodie with a point.
You make and you keep it in your, you make it home every night with yours.
Yeah. No book bag in school.
You a G.
Yeah, no book bag.
And you know what's crazy about the Biggie era? It was like the crazier your color, the more lime greens, yellow.
And black is eye, blue is eye, but anything else besides that, you the man. You the man. The purple, the yellow.
Going back, we not a solo era. We Gore-Tex era.
Yeah, I wanted Gore-Tex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We Gore-Tex.
Definitely.
Keep Gore-Tex era, but even at that time, there was an A solo reach, and like certain dudes wore that.
It was real.
They wore like
There was a little bit of people doing it.
They would wear the North Face cats or wear their North Faces and probably pair them with that.
Oh, we was
Gores,
Gores
we were
and
different.
Averexes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
That's a Yonkers thing.
That's a
though.
wild thing.
You know what I'm saying? We
Nah,
used to wear all
nah, I'm not gonna lie. The Averex thing touchdown here. It
You know what I mean?
definitely
That was a wild thing. Like you needed your Averex, pair of Timbs, and a sweatsuit, and that was like
Nah, Tim's was hard. Tim's was everywhere. Don't
Yeah,
worry
Tim's
about that.
a universal fly for a tri-state situation.
Yeah, that's something that everybody can relate to. For sure.
Gore-Tex Vast era, beautiful.
Tan and navy blue vest are like a pillar of some like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, that
Uptown
two-tone
shit.
with gray and tan. Oh my
The
god.
field boot though too, like beef and broccoli.
Even Broccoli made a surge.
I ain't gonna lie. I love the film so much. I went on my shorts. I was
It's
wild.
New York.
But I got it off.
New York.
I got it off. I had the black one, put the black bandana in it, and the navy blue. I was wild.
I seen people used to wear those in the summertime with a jersey.
Yep.
I seen people wear those with like a Ray Allen Bucks jersey.
Yep.
And camel
The
shorts
butter,
and
the
something.
butter
Like,
color, yeah.
you from New York. I look like they gotta be from New York.
That's dead crazy.
We used to buy Timbs in the summer like on purpose.
Yeah.
I remember like at one point. The matter of fact, the gray and red field boot when it first came out in the
I
summer.
know exactly. Wow.
And I bought that with like a red
Like
Northern
a charcoal gray?
You was definitely chilling with the Bloods, though.
Nah.
I'm just telling you.
I was clueless.
When
then
the
about
Bloods first
I'm
came
gonna
out,
tell you right now, if you wore that in my park, it was like, yeah, I hope you're on time.
No, I was the youngest, baby.
Alright, so yeah,
Why
you-
it was just fresh.
Alright,
That was just the fifth of the day.
had to be careful. Too much red. You did that and a red shirt.
Yeah, I mean it's
You're
young.
wrong
You
side
know,
of the
like
tree,
in
that's
my
my
hood, they know. We come from in our area. It was about getting off the porch and seeing what you gonna do. Like it wasn't really on game time.
that's
the gang ain't really hit.
Yeah.
till
That's
later.
one thing about New York.
Yeah,
That every 15 minutes is a whole different lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, because think
That's
about it,
15 minutes.
our side of town is like we from north side of Yonkers, like we from Warburton, Woodworth, Ravine Avenue.
Anybody water?
Yeah, so like over there it was more just about like being from your neighborhood, repping your neighborhood respectfully too. Because we wasn't back then. It was just about getting off the porch and like getting to it in a different like not really starting shit, just being that dude.
No, over
So,
here,
you know-
it was on time from early. I'm sorry.
Word.
It was scary. Public school was scary.
Come on now.
It-
The 90s.
It's so funny because even to this day, it still translates to what I make. Like, I'll make clothing and I'll make red, and my blood homies will love it. My crip homies will be like, that's fire, but
Yeah.
then I gotta make blue. So things I have is red, blue, and maybe now orange because that's my color.
I feel like shit transitioned a little bit too with gang culture as far as like dressing.
Yeah, it definitely is.
they-
a lot of stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Like
saying?
not really like based off color.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they might get fly on whatever they feel.
Well,
No,
now
they do it subtly. Let me not say that.
No.
I feel like it's more subtle.
Yeah.
So like
I'm just
how,
saying,
like little hits. Like so how you're dressed.
yeah.
There's someone else might dress like that, but their hat might represent.
Oh,
For them.
I'm happy you went to the hats
You know what I'm
because
saying?
I just came from LA and besides clothing, but the hat thing in LA,
It represents sense.
it is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you
But
gotta
I learned that me and my guys walking around with Yankee hats is like, oh, they're really New Yorkers.
They're New Yorkers, yeah. 'Cause
But if
New
you
York
not-
out there, it means
If
something.
you open your mouth,
Yeah.
it is different.
Yeah, when you start talking, they know like,
Start
all
seeing
right.
you. And it also depends, like anywhere else, right? You know where you at, you know where you
You
going.
know how you
know what I'm
behave.
saying? Yeah, you know how you
You know how you
react.
behave.
Especially out of town, you gotta respect where you at. And
I feel like only really LA you gotta worry about. Like everywhere else I've been.
Speaking of that, like I know you've been taking your show on the road, right? Taking your talents on the road. Like how has that been? Like going from being like, because you really set foot in your hometown in New York. But now that you've been getting out there and seeing the pop-ups and doing that, like how has that helped you, or has that made you go harder? You get what I'm saying?
So I mean, I feel like I don't know if everyone has the same, storyline. I get the most love at home. So to go somewhere else to get love is different. Like to go somewhere and nobody knows you at all. It's like, yeah, I still got work. I could be blinded back home, but when I go here, I'm not no one. Like I went to Cowboys College and I was just like, there's a couple people that recognize me, I'm not gonna lie, but I was still, one of them the Z-class celebrities out there. So I'm like, cool, I know that I got a long way to go. LA, I ain't gonna lie, I get a lot of love there. That's like second home. I can still get spotted and respected. So I feel accomplished by that. Like, I'm all the way on the other side of the coast.
Yeah. LA is fine.
And LA, the vibe is right. And, I always felt like that was second home. So it's good. It's a lot of learning experience. And just to see that, some, like, I don't care what nobody says. I've been to Japan, I've been to Egypt, I've been places. New York is first with everything fashion.
Always.
And I've seen that. Just to know that if I could dictate here, I can dictate the world. And that's what I love. And that's one superpower that I get back. So and to think about it, honestly, where we're at right now, it's like the last untouched place where the gentrifiers ain't running in and buying up everything. So we still make our own food and cook it and eat it ourselves. And then somebody else tries to take the recipe. But for us to be authentic here, we influence every single day. And that's why I have to come back home.
That's well said, man, because it's really true. I'm not gonna sit here and bash other people, whatever the case may be, right? But like, it's one thing when you are inspired by and you're aspiring to do something, or you appreciate something and you want to like show love. I mean, we paying homage. It's the Homage Podcast, but this is true to us. This isn't something that we have to go. Like, if I interview a fucking rock and roll star, I'm just showing love because it's something that you did.
Yeah.
Was cool to me. But like, we talk, this is us. This is like who we are. This is like authentic to what we are. So like, the fact that you still hold on to that, you know what I'm saying, protect that, are in your hood, that shit is fire to me. You know what I'm saying? Since 1982 store is about 5 minutes from here, so that shit is appreciative. Like, to see like we all like really keep it.
That's exactly, I feel like not too much people are able to like connect the dots or even have that energy amongst other creatives and designers and people that inspire to be entrepreneurs. So I feel like
worry about the wrong.
Let me be that connecting dot, because I'm that person that shares the platform. So I'm not. I think it's needed. I think I'm moving in purpose right now.
Nah, for sure, bro. Definitely.
Nah, it's really true. Like, so we know each other for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
And I what's funny, right? So I thought I met you through Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't know Ed is,
of course,
part of, he's since 1982, like me, you know what I'm saying? And Joe and everybody. And I thought I met you through him. But you was telling me a little while ago, it was a different story.
So before the camera started on, I had to put him on that. I know him before Ed. I know him when he just started, maybe the first year he started playing.
Yeah.
So my homie Elgin, of course, the great, brought me over by just right in front of his crib and just had a bunch of pieces all over. We going to South by Southwest, me, Denzel, Mandel, Red House Crew. And he just pulled out these pieces. And I remember, he just was still talking about what designs he made for this guest flip. Yeah. Gray with the red print, and it was just elite. I still got shit somewhere in my closet right now. I used to wear it all the time. And just a dude that just gifted me something before I even thought about making clothes, and then revisit it now. I remember I got introduced to Ed, and I'm like, you sure he owned this brand? Because I met somebody else, and he wasn't that tall, and he did wear glasses. And then when I finally ran into Just, it's funny, I actually ended up asking Ed about like who else was a part of it, and he said you, and I'm like, I gotta be the guy. And then when you finally came, I was like, there you go.
So Elgin was managing Denzel Porter. Shout out to Denzel Porter, a ill artist.
Right on the block.
I was just about to say, he right from around here.
Yeah.
And they was going
South by
Southwest, go tear shit up, and I'm like, yo, pull up. I'm like,
2014.
That was a long time.
Shout out to L too, man. We see you.
That was a while, yeah. I remember I got a speeding ticket that day. I got a speeding ticket leaving Houston, and I never went back. They said, yo, pay this or don't come back. I said, all right, I'm good.
I didn't really know what I was doing. I just wanted to show love, and you know what I'm saying? He's a dope artist, and I respect anybody that, Elgin bring around, so y'all pulled up. I was telling you off the air, like, I didn't really know what I was doing with clothes. I spent $4,000 on making shirts, hoodies, and whatever the case may be, and just gave it all away.
I feel like that's probably the most, like, you still had a purpose, so it still mattered. I think there's two ends of that. There's people that had doing it just to do it, and there's people that's doing it just for money. And those people, I can't stand, because there be people talking to me about the overhead and all this stuff beforehand. It's like, bro, if you're doing this just for $1 to start, you're not gonna ever win. And I always tell people out there, like, yo, treat your business like college. You go to college for 4 years, nobody's stressing you to make no money. If I start a business, give me 3-4 years to hit the ground running. Because why are you thinking it's gonna, if it was that easy, everybody can do that. It's not that easy. Don't do that.
Nah, I mean, I got two thoughts about that. Like, one, I'm glad that even if it's a small little piece of the puzzle, if you know what I'm saying, that hoodie, t-shirt, whatever,
It definitely was
glad because to see this is like, wow, you know what I'm saying?
No, I tell every single one of y'all that, like, y'all are part of the story. And just the simple fact of him introducing me to you and like me being the back end of Denzel's entourage, going into places, opened my eyes. That's before I even started traveling, knowing that the importance of traveling and seeing the world. You know, that's the first time ever doing it.
And the other thing I think regarding that is like, you said, you're telling people if they're trying to do this for money, it's wrong. It's true because people come up to me, right, and be like, what ideas for businesses now, right? Because they look at it, situations and they think like I'm fucking some successful person for whatever reason. Maybe because I'm standing around or whatever the case may be, right? And I'm just low key, so you're not gonna know whether or not what I'm doing. Yeah. And I say to people, I don't know how to just do any business. I don't know how to do some shit that I really care about. Yeah. So I'm like, so if you're just trying to, if you think something is gonna work, a play, I don't know how to do that, dog. I'm not good with the time.
It's ultra funny because people come to me all the time. But what I look at is not your skill set, what you've done, is who you are. Exactly. If I look at you and it's like, yo, what do you want? What have you researched? Oh, I don't know, but what's the best t-shirt to print?
That's what you see. That's what we were talking about, right? We've been talking about that because that's essentially a culture vulture, but not the kind that they talk about.
Yeah.
The kind that uses our shit when it's beneficial to them. And you get what I'm saying? Like not those that like are pimping the culture like from their couch and telling that even having other people like go do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Ones that are around that are just like using the shit for when it's beneficial.
I low key, I tell people all the time, there's two things about our culture, like rapping and I think designing are very two popular things. Like, you know,
yes, please.
Businesses or career paths that people take. But the entry level is so easy nowadays. To be a rapper, I could be a rapper tonight. Yeah. I could be a designer tonight. And visually from Instagram, it look like I'm doing it. And I feel like the problem is, and this is something I'm trying to fix, is that people come into this game and shortchange it. And because he shortchanged you, you had a bad experience with him, and you take it out on me.
That's a fact.
Instead of doing it right then, instead of switching that over and turning it around, like
if anything, if I like clothes that much, I don't gotta be a designer. I could be a model. I could be marketing. I could be brand ambassador. Like, or if you really love it,
or just express it on your own. You don't necessarily have to be. It doesn't have to be a model.
But the thing about it is that it's kind of like your favorite rapper. Your favorite rapper is not the same before they got their deal or they went on Flex and freestyle or they got their platinum record.
Right.
Unless they J. Cole. But everybody else, once they get the fame, it's kind of like your favorite song on the radio ain't their favorite song anymore because now it's played out. And any hustle gets pimped out. I mean, Uber, and there's Lyft, and there's a bunch of other shit. Uber Eats, there's Postmates, there's everything. Everything gets pimped out. Right. And that's just it. If you love it, you gotta be ready for it to be pimped out.
And everything that you love don't gotta be quote unquote creative. I mean, if you just love being a part of something or doing something specific that's gonna be beneficial to you and your family, that'll work. So when I say like, yo, I can't give nobody advice on no business that they don't truly care about because that's the only way I could enter something. Yeah. You feel me? So like you might hit me and be like, yo, Josh, we got a business plan that we're trying to build out. You know, maybe you want to be a part of this, or maybe you know somebody that might be a part of this. If I could take the passion that you come into me with and understand like where this is going, and I can see how this makes sense. But if you like, if you just sound like a play off the rip, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hustle on the block. I didn't know how to
It's so funny because I
didn't know how to do that.
As soon as people say that, I instantly try to find a story for them. But if there is absolutely nothing, then I can't help you. There's ways to decorate stuff or even help them find a story in it for them. But once it's completely just a playoff, it's like yo, somebody want to make a brand. And I'm like, all right, so what do you have in that? Oh, you're creative, you tell me. No, this is not mine. This is your child. You name your child. You watch your
That's
child.
a fact.
When you're going out on Friday, I got you, but not the whole.
Yeah.
I'm not giving birth to your child for you. It makes
could
no
be
sense.
anything. You could be like, yo, I got a business where we cleaning cars. But the reason you want to do this is because you always kept your car immaculate. You care about the way cars look. You know how it makes somebody feel when they whip his. Exactly. It has to be up there.
Like people just don't understand that, like,
integrity behind something.
like those hours you're gonna put in, the losses you're gonna take, there has to be love.
But
Salute to the people that know how to get it another way. I just don't know.
But I also feel like we come from this this place of where like you represent something, right? So like individually, like you know what I mean. So like how like it's just not like whatever you got going on is how you look. That's not a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
You can't certain shit you cannot put on. Certain things you just can't. Certain colors you probably can't wear unless you feel that way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's to be true.
You know, like I woke up today feeling like this. Like I felt like Raekwon Purple Tape. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I felt.
True.
That's how I felt. I
Respectfully.
felt like that, so I bought a Raekwon kicks. You know what I'm saying? And
But you see, that also is a thing where people, like, I can't wear something I don't feel comfortable or confident in.
definitely
Like, I have to feel that way. And then I also know that me doing that paves the way. Like, you know, me, Kanye getting a crazy haircut can inspire somebody else that wants to be crazy.
You know, I've always held the thought that like just by existing, because by my existence and by carrying myself a certain way, and that means like everybody else too, and every individual, that you are doing something. Because like there's a lot of people that you're probably the first person that they met like you. Yeah, and like I travel, I go to Paris, I go here, they don't make niggas like me everywhere.
Exactly.
So like you know what I mean? I've been wearing do-rags since like 11, 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? So
Same.
you know what I mean? Like so like there's a thing, like I know that when what I represent, you get what I'm saying? I know that like when I pull up that I give off, even if I'm in a suit, just by the way I speak to someone, you know what I mean? They're gonna be able to recognize where you're from, what kind of like energy you coming with, and who you are, like,
But,
you know?
You do tie into exactly why I'm here right now on White Plains Road, because I see kids walk by and look up, and it's like I want them to know, like, yo, I could go talk to this guy. He could turn my passion to a business right now.
Yeah.
He could tell me exactly what I'm feeling is right or wrong. I remember I don't have no formal training. I speak y'all language. It's not like you came in to speak to somebody that is from here and you're seeing his perspective. I'm sharing my perspective with y'all, but we still speak the same language. We're from the same street. And I just that representation is very important. I didn't have a guy, if I wanted to do clothes, there was no example of that.
Yeah.
From the Bronx, now if you black, white, or whatever, not from the Bronx, and if a straight male, let me just keep it a buck, it's not happening. It's not happening. He had to be wearing high heels or cross-dressing or do some other shit.
And you're invited. You're not on some douchebag.
And that's another thing as well. Like, I'm really, like, even if I was that dude that crossed all them X, I might be the weirdo that don't want to talk to nobody. But nah, I'm real sociable, so I feel like it's my purpose to just show that. Because I remember, I don't know if everybody ever thought back of the first teacher that ever asked you what you want to be. And when they asked me, I had no answer. And to really think that these were the only choices, and I'm like, damn. Like,
well, think about it. When you at an age when you're asked that question, your lens is tiny, so you're probably saying shit like policeman, fireman, or whatever your family's around, right? Like not you, but the average kid is like whatever they see. You know what I mean? Somebody with Snoop shit said, "I want to be a motherfucking hustler."
Right? It's so funny because, like, you know what I'm saying.
You remember when being asked that question? And
I remember, and not having an answer. And I didn't have an answer from years upon years. And originally, a lot of people don't know, I don't want people to think like I'm just some dude that, school ain't work out, this ain't work out, so I did this. No, I have a full 4-year bachelor's degree from St. John's University that I still have to owe for. In accounting, bachelor of science in accounting. Right now, y'all never getting y'all money taking in blood. Get it back in blood. Y'all never getting y'all money deferment for the rest of my life. But I'm just saying, like, I really did that. Waited 2 years on my ass, got a job, and hated it.
Word up.
And I said, you know what? I'm never wearing a suit again. And I'm never wearing a suit again. And if you want to do business with me, you have to call me by Mugzy. If not, we can't do business. And respectfully, You gotta respect it. And that's what I want to teach people, like, be you, unapologetically. And if you can do that, you will always win. Don't pretend to be anybody.
And there's nothing wrong with having that journey. Like, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of creatives, from like a lot of artists with, fashion music, they're afraid to have a professional journey aside from their dream. And I feel like that, like a lot of people do that. They don't do that when they should, because that will help you realize how much you want something and like what you're willing to do to go there. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't want nobody to think here like, oh, you'll be super cool and don't do this and don't do that. I went to school and I'm going to St. John University, and what I learned is that a lot of people from my block and my neighborhood don't go to college.
Yeah.
Me being a black man going to school in Queens, it's just these Brooklyn niggas going there with these fucking trust funds, and I'm just that one poor black kid, but I could dress my ass off, and that kind of made me turn to the fashion, because it's like, yo, I'm gonna represent for the whole borough every time I step foot on this campus. And shit, like I feel like every experience is valuable.
Yeah.
Going there, I mean, I'm a accountant. I know how to market and know when to sell something, what price point. I did learn that from school, but then I did also learn that from the drug industry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hand in hand.
Balance.
But I will say one thing, and I just want anybody that's listening that wants to pursue this kind of lifestyle, is that just everybody learns differently. I've learned my best way from hands-on in the street, not the book. I take what I can from the book. My favorite teacher was somebody that was a millionaire, and he just decided to do the teaching for fun. Mm-hmm. He didn't take a salary. He just did it because he loved to do it. Yeah. And that was my favorite teacher. Yeah. And he fucked with me. He'd do race car driving, he'd fly helicopters, and I was like, wow, he's not sticking about it. Yeah. And now, maybe 2 years ago, I went back to Parsons. I always wanted to go to FIT for fashion after the fact. And I went to that class and I told him, yo, I don't need this. So whatever value you take. And I felt great. That was the biggest flex. Like, yo, I don't need this. And after I came off that stage, all the black guys and all the minority people and all the people that was unsure about staying in school came and spoke to me, and I felt great.
You know what it is, I think, with those people that's going to school and doing it like that? They're looking for something that's supposed to direct them.
Exactly. And
they don't understand that it's within them. You know what I mean?
School has its points. I mean, and just use it for what you use for.
No, I'm talking about specifically like
some people going in that ground level with no experience and probably, and need to know the ins and outs from the ground level.
But I will say, I feel like most people that go to school, they're employed. Yeah. All those people that go there, I would love for you to come work for me, do tech packs and figure out samples for me. But you know how I learned how to make all this shit? Mistake.
Exactly.
I like this. You'll make me a large. It might come as a small. You'll make it 2 sizes bigger. All right, that size, make it a large now. It might have cost me, take a little bit longer, but I'm going to get the result. That's just it. Whatever, my favorite saying is, use what you have to get what you want. Yeah. If I got the money, I can figure it out. If I got the time, I can learn to teach myself. I taught myself Photoshop, and here I am.
Yes, sir.
And that's the most important tool I ever learned in my life.
For the mother, I did the same shit.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
YouTubing, I watched a girl mess with the layers one time, and shit. My MacBook is I don't take everything away from me. Just leave me in my drawers of my MacBook and I'll be alright. Little Wi-Fi, I'm good.
Now another thing though that you've been doing, like you've been making your own shoes too. Like that's not easy to do.
Listen.
So like what was the process of making your first shoe?
So it's funny, I didn't always have it. So I remember growing up, the very first thing that was the status symbol was sneakers. No matter how garbage your outfit was, sneakers first. So I remember back in the day, getting sneakers early was rare candy. That was not happening. I'm gonna give you the full juice on this one. And I'll never forget it. I had the Air Jordan 9s, navy pearl, white low cut. They came out September 21st, 2001. 2001 was the World Trade Center drop. Remember, school started the 9th. One on the 9th, one on the 10th, one on the 11th. But before the 11th, every day, everybody came to me, how you got those, where you got those from, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that power to have, going to a new place, I went to Kennedy, I live here, I could have went to Evander Truman, but I decided to go left to rebrand myself. I don't know why I was thinking this far ahead. I'm like, I'm just rebrand myself. Go over there, all these kids over here, they know me already. Let me go over there, and the footwear just became a thing, because I had Basics footwear and JC footwear.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all. Y'all changed my life. That I had them in the
Basics.
pocket. I used to write my name on sneakers and save it. You know, buy the little hoodie, buy the little cleaner, and you can get your shit early. Cool. Because that's where they make their real money at. But that was just it. I didn't want to return to the essence. So eventually I made heels as a sample. But the thing about heels is that I'm a man and I'm a cross-dresser. So I can't test those to see what comfort or whatever. Then I went to slides because I'm a basketball player. So I'm like, you know what? I might not be able to have enough style to get you to wear my sneakers, but you wear slides, it's calm. You know, get comfortable. Then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go left and I'm gonna do sneakers. But naturally, since I'm a basketball player, I don't want you to think I'm gonna go basketball. I went like a more fly knit, Balenciaga type of vibe. I priced it right in the middle. So the hood nigga could get some luxury, the luxury person could still feel at home. And it worked. It was a attention grabber. Jim Jones jumped in my DM and got him. And put them on Drip Report. Shout out to Capo. I really appreciate it. I got them stickers for you too, by the way. So and that was just a great feeling. Like, you know, something that looked like the new Batman could put on. You know, something that is calm, but when the light hit it, it reflect and it dance. So that was that. And then I'm a fan of
those right there.
Those black.
Can you pass us the black and the sneakers on the top too?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that and the joint on top.
Bring the slides and the joints on the top. No.
No, the top ones.
Yeah, the top one and
the slides. Yeah.
Alright.
So I'm gonna break this down for you. Let me. So this is the joints right here where it was like me and my girl got matching Balenciaga one Christmas, and I was like the first time I really even ventured into stuff like that where the price and the quality and the functionality fit. It's like, you know, after a long day, you might not want to be in shoes and you want to be like in something comfortable that look good. And these joints are calm enough with a little accent of orange that, you know, you might not know who made it, but it's fire. And when you go in the club, because I was a party promoter, the lights hit this and it reflects crazy. It dances, it fluorescent. So I did that. And then I went here because I was like, you know, comfort,
and it's nice.
Small branding, and that's the funny thing. You're like, yo, you wouldn't thought it was like a boot, but it's fully functional and mad light. And then like these were just like comfort, $50. Anybody that buy these, buy it for their whole family, just functional. And then these joints right here. So first, before I even go that far, these came out exactly 7 years after I started the brand. I believe that they said 7 years or 100,000 hours making a master of something. And I felt 7 years into the brand, it was time. So I released it exactly 7 years. August 26, 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, these came out, and I'm glad that they were successful. I'm on my second re-up, and I'm almost done. I have half the sizes left. They sold in the stores in LA and everything, so I really feel great about the shoe. And then this, I doubled back, and I said, you know what? Not everybody can do the shoes that's fly knit, that don't have no laces. And I feel like this is my waiver. This is my easy right here, where the sole is big and functional. You might think it's a Balenciaga, you might think it's an Air Max 95, you might think it's a Yeezy, and then there's a lot of homage in this. So the colors are exaggerations of the first wave, which is my favorite sneaker as of moment. You know, we're from the Bronx, so this is like a zebra print Bronx, so pay homage to that. Orange is my favorite color. Blue, orange and blue is Knicks colors. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a Knicks fan, but I'm a Knicks fan. I'm from New York. You have to be. I love James Harden.
We Knicks fans, and we from New York.
So end of the day, you have to pay homage. And I also believe that like the Jamaican roots and everything, the green, is always heavy in that. And that's just how it tied in. It all tied in like different nubuck, the leather, and then, you know, the PVC and all of that. The laces reflect, because I'm also a person that goes out. So once they try to take a picture, I'm naturally go out, people want to take videos, boom. And the insole has my logo inside, just so you nice and quiet.
I'm gonna have a crazy fit for these. Dog, when you see me in these, no. And mind you, I know I'm not a big, you know, soul cat, but these right here, I'm fucking with.
That soul part is probably the most fashionable part of it, because that's where things are going now.
I like the crack on the bottom.
Yeah.
And the insole is crazy.
Those is flame, so is those, but I'm gonna tell y'all something about these slides.
You're gonna be chasing the kids and that.
Keep it fly. The soul?
I'm telling you right now.
Am I bugging the soul? The shit is so heavyweight. It's like a shoe.
But when
So
you
you
put
can
your
really,
foot in it,
that's what I'm saying. So you can,
yeah, you can. I'm telling you right now, like I wear.
these ain't no ringy dink slides.
Nah, it's not
just
at
like,
all. It's not at all.
look.
It's not at all.
Yeah, you got the.
No, I'm telling y'all right now, like
These is flame. These is too fun.
like I plan to do so much, and I'm gonna pay homage because Kanye West is a big influence of mine, and just the simple fact that he's not a book taught fashion designer and he breaks all barriers for people. Like that colorways weight off the Wave Runners. I'm gonna make a lot of classic Nike and Adidas Yeezy colorways. I might do a black with a gray and a pink, just a flip, just to pay homage to him.
Yeah.
So
you gotta see though the details. We're gonna show y'all. We're gonna post some pictures.
I really
the way the laces intertwine with the side design is crazy.
And the funny thing about it is that with this, you dead ass pick where you want it to go. It's not set
and I
where you want it to go.
I see a lot of different inspiration like coming, even if you know or not, like where you did it from,
like
where it came from.
Like 96 is a heavy year, man, and he told me the 95s, and then I've heard about 10 people, and then someone bought this right before this interview and came with the 95s, and I looked at them one foot and one foot, and I'm like, wow. Subconsciously, these things happen. I just keep it true. So
definitely, the toe box is dope. You know what I'm saying? The toe box reminds me of like a Barkley toe box. Like
he's talking about
all
my favorite joints.
That's what I'm saying. I know, like I can see you might not know, but I see like subconsciously.
But with all of that said, it's still super original.
But
that's the point.
I want people to understand creatively. You don't reinvent the wheel. What you do is you take a bunch of things you like, you put them in a pot, jambalaya. You pull out what you want.
Lupe Fiasco said, Did you invent on the design? Did you create something new? So I always live by that. So I think that matters. Like everything that we've seen that inspired us, whatever. Like you either invent on that or you create your own version.
Nothing is new under the sun.
Nothing
at all. Like there was basketball before there was basketball. If you look it up, I'm just telling you.
Because look, I'm gonna cut you off, but I was telling you before, like you know what I'm saying. What I'm striving and working towards, and I have been for a long time, is to produce film and television on the highest level, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just storytelling in general. The Homage Podcast is a fraction of that. What I learned, and this is coming from a lot of people that do this at the levels that I want to be at and where I will be at, is no story is new. It's just your take on a story.
Look how much Spider-Man and Batman they got.
Yeah, I mean, whatever version. So, like, if you can go back as far as any scripture, and you can go back to hieroglyphics. It's all just like
only our shit.
There's only basis of things that we are telling our versions of. So I'm not saying that we're not. When we say like this reminds me, this reminds me. That's not the bad.
No. Listen, I absolutely want that.
It's not a bad thing.
I want that because I am related. I am from 9-5s. The Human Torch 9-5s from that Fantastic Four pack. I love those. I wish I didn't cook my joints. I love that. The sneaker that made me love orange are the Air Max TNs. So it all ties in.
No, but you know what too? Like everything is pushed forward by things like that. Like it's not even just that. Like it from fucking science to whatever it is, it's pushed forward by old research, redone by the new generation and pushed forward. So it only comes to a halt when it's our culture and type of shit. Like certain people want to like keep hold on that, but the reality of it is the only way for us to keep moving forward is for us to like just take what we inspired by and make our own versions of it.
But you gotta understand, it's like that with clothing.
Everything.
It's like that with music. I mean, I remember Jay said it like, yo, in his S-Dots, it got the soul of the old Gucci. If you're upset, sue me. And once I thought about that, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, sampling is one of the most purest arts of hip hop.
Hey, it's paying homage.
It's paying homage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, it really is. Everything is a sample. Yeah. Everything is a sample, especially in music, right? I mean, a break on a song, you don't know that that's from one old record that they just cut it up and laid it down. It's from somebody else. We didn't make up the sound because that was a drum that was thousands and thousands of years.
I wish I could remember that. It got sampled so much time. Oh my God.
Well, James Brown's music.
Oh, him?
James Brown's music is like he might be the most sampled artist ever.
That's the most sample. I forgot. I think I know what record you talking about.
Yo,
I think I know exactly what it is. But yeah,
crazy.
hip hop was built off of James Brown sample.
So yeah, so like with whatever the design, I mean, we do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? We take inspirations for whatever. But what struck me immediately was that because I noticed all the shit that is inspired by something quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I look at is like, wow, that's original.
Yeah.
That I don't see all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it right after I pointed it out. It's like it gives you the ability to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So that's
what
what
it all the way up to back.
this is where the McFly part come in.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is why like I can appreciate something so dope.
Well, but this is what I
I'm
tell
still
people.
looking at where these panels come from though, because like, it reminds me of the tongue of the infrared 6 for me. But
yeah.
there's a sneaker that I used to wear that I don't remember which one with these panels right here.
And it's so funny because that low-key was a mistake.
Huh?
That low-key was a mistake.
It looked dope.
The first one I did only had one, and then when it came, I was like, oh, no, leave it. I love it.
Because there's mad materials on it, like perforated suede, like you got the
Blue
like,
back.
it's bad material.
Nah, but I tell people, and I heard this from Jaden Smith, and he said, yo, if I have a ladder, you know how to start your own ladder? You can start on the top of my ladder. And that just pushes everybody forward.
And I ain't even bullshitting because I'm a hard fucking critic on sneakers, dog. And I don't wear like, bulky sole. These is fire.
And I just wanted to be able to boom, it's me when you see it. It's gonna make you think. It's gonna bring up a conversation. And that was what it was. And there's a little bit of marketing tools in that. And I am, I'm working, man. You can get yours now. They out now.
If someone wanted to buy some...
SamaMcFly.com. You can also come to McFly Studios. We 4419 White Plains Road. Book your appointment. We usually here Thursday through Sunday, but any other time, book your appointment. You could come right here in front of the door. If you see the little barcode there, it goes to the website. There's a phone number and an email right there. Nobody answers.
Bang.
Yeah, man. It's orange door. You can't miss us. And the sign,
This is fire.
The sign.
I think I want these too.
So yeah, like
you play ball growing up?
So it's funny. No, it's funny. I'm one of those purist people. So like, if I'm inspired by basketball, I want to play basketball. Okay. I love Penny Hardaway. I kind of hated Michael Jordan. I'm not gonna lie. I respect him, but I kind of hated him because he was just too good.
Well, we hated Mike because I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I hate him because he compared to Penny. Like, oh, Penny and Shaq at the time, but I love basketball, and then when I got to middle school, like I'm gonna try it, and I went really hard. So a lot of my references are basketball. Now I probably got to the point where I started playing winning tournaments. I won youngest PSAL like right before COVID hit. Like I've been doing it like that, and I kind of it just naturally ties in. Like I don't wear jeans. I don't make jeans. I made jeans and come out right, but I try to be cozy. So it's all functional lifestyles. Really, the ball players are fly, but they're functional. They wear comfortable shit. You want to steal their hoodies because their hoodies are good.
Penny's so rare. We got a friend by the name of Moderator, and it's funny because he is me, Doe, and him was the first to try to make clothes together, and we did. We made a bunch of one-off pieces with fucking just mad random shit. And he's like the biggest Penny Hardaway fan in the world.
What up, cuz?
What up, cuz? And I remember when we had a like a seamstress, if you want to call it, on Castle Hill that we used, and we got printed on Castle Hill. What I was gonna say about Penny was that it's crazy. Like Penny's still like one of the most sold Nikes, especially.
He's probably number 2. Like,
yeah, he might be number 2 or 3, right?
He's number 2
and Penny,
or maybe like
LeBron
now.
But they pull it out now. He has 5 silhouettes. So.
Yeah, but Penny by far, besides Jordan, is like definitely
the
most important. Because I feel like LeBron picked up from where Penny.
But what's cool about Penny is, dude, like he was so casual in his approach off the court. And even when he played, like he didn't have to tell him, he didn't have to say a lot, but he was just so chill.
And I feel like that's kind of where I get my market and that's why I always say to myself, I wish I had a little Penny, because sometimes niggas need to know, and I'm not the one to tell you. I'm Penny like, sure. Yeah, but Chris Rock talking to little Penny. Yeah, fucking you got you know what you had on Jordan? You had 40 last night. Exactly. And that still lives in my head now. It's like, wow.
Shout out to Penny because he's one of the best recruiters in fucking college right
Word
now.
up,
He's
shout out.
stealing all of these players
Because
from all
love Penny.
of these schools from Kentucky and Duke. And
Because
he's getting all these guys.
all they dads is like, you better go play for Penny.
He play for Penny. You know what he's talking about. Wiseman, all these guys
From
know
the
what they're
day
doing.
From the day Penny was drafted, our age group changed forever.
Yeah.
First of all, we were introduced to the first $200 sneaker, the foam posit.
Yep.
Like that Royal foam posit. I ain't gonna front. The first time I saw that shit, it's like when you watch a movie, you know they dramatizing with the kid, and that shit had like the gold aura around it. First time I saw that shit. That royal penny.
That shit's it.
I bought a Monterey, John. I want to cut you off. I bought a Monterey for his birthday when eBay first started. Right?
Authentic.
I bought him a
In-game
authentic signed Penny Hardaway jersey on eBay for $60.
Yeah.
I think he still has it in the case, on
Yeah.
the glass case on his wall or whatever. But I was such a Penny stan because my favorite player ever is Magic Johnson. My dad introduced me to basketball. Right? So Penny was like the offshoot of Magic, another 6'8" point guard, but just had more physical talent. More athleticism. You know, he could jam it and all that shit. He didn't have Magic personality, right? But he definitely had Magic swag because he didn't have to. He just played one.
You already know I'm a Penny fan because I was like, who's this nigga they traded Weber for?
Well, he's a Weber stan, so the Penny trade, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know this. Those are Weber stan. We're gonna say this every time we mention Weber. Chris, you're definitely invited to the Amish podcast.
Bro, I was like, because they games went on TV, I was like, who's this nigga they traded? Like, they traded Chris Webber for, like, Shaq and Chris Webber about to be up.
Yeah.
But Penny was my man, I ain't got front. His first sneakers with the little one, with the bubble one on the back.
Yeah, the Penny ones are my favorite, one of the top 5 sneakers of all time for me. I buy them every time they come out.
Yo.
Man, I had the 3.
It's funny, the 3 with the wave was the first.
The Batman shits?
I'm gonna tell you, the Penny 3s with the wave, blue wave on the side and white was the first sneaker in my life I was obsessed with.
Really?
First sneaker I ever was obsessed with.
You had the blue black, right?
No, I had the white. That's why I got dirty.
Oh, nah.
And I got it during the summer, so it was like,
Those
yo.
were mean though. Oh, you had all white with the blue?
See, the blue wave.
Oh, so you're a little younger than that. So like, this is when the NBA wore white at home. I don't know what they do now.
I don't care.
Yeah, that don't care. They wear every color at home. You know what I'm saying? So the white kick was for the home.
You talking about the Zooms?
No, the one with the patent level.
The patent level wave.
The patent level wave on the side.
Right, but you remember
they came up on the side. They kind of like
the Batman joints. That's what we called them. They had like
I think it was like an M for the Magic or whatever.
But it looked like the Batman wing. But the Zooms were hard too.
No, the Zooms were hard. I know you're talking about the pods.
You're talking about the pods with the circles on them?
No, it had the lines. It had the lines. You had them.
You gonna pull them? Nah.
You had them joints.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, now the Zooms were, I think, before that. He had those. Those are the Batmans. The Batman right there.
Boy.
Those were hard.
I cleaned them joints.
And
see, so like, this is all the shit that's inspiring. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking right now. I'm looking at a jacket. You got a Magic stripe jacket.
Oh, look. Even that jacket right there, that is super homage to or my favorite team and favorite players. Even like the letters of it says McFly, and each you can even give it to me. Each letter on that, I paid homage to something, even people I didn't like at the moment.
Oh, that's hard.
So like this is kind of the whole flip of like my friends being gang related. So this is the '96 warmer, but I made it red to emphasize, I was from a blood block, quote unquote. And the M, it says McFly, but of course I gotta go right back to the Magic, Orlando, Penny, Shaq, then Cleveland, and I'm not gonna lie, the LeBron on Cleveland, the first stint was amazing.
Word.
And I don't think any athlete ever lived up to the hype like he did. And I also am gonna say that Mike Vick, first stint before the Dogs,
of course,
unfucking touchable. Untouchable. So I had to put him. And as much as I hated the Lakers, but the Shaq and Kobe Lakers 2001, when they only lost one game, it was undeniable. Like, they were taking it, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And just the simple fact that baseball was the first sport I actually liked to play consistently, and I'm from the Bronx.
I've never wore a Mets thing. I love Darryl Strawberry in them era. Yeah. But I've never wore a Mets thing.
I was a Bernie Williams fan.
Or Jets.
Yeah. But Yankees own it. Like,
So,
The NY hat is the most popular hat in the world.
I mean, look,
No,
you made
I mean,
this one. It's
the
play on the one from the original Yankees.
Yeah, exactly. See?
That's that
See how
whack.
it all ties back in?
Like the Mets hat
the joke you
and
made.
colorway is not whack. It's just that I'm so Yankee. It's like impossible. I can't do it.
I ain't mad at the Mets. I'm just not a Mets fan.
Like I buy green Knicks stuff. Like, cause I can't wear
Ain't a better fan base than Yankees and Knicks.
Yo, Yankee fan base is where we all meet. Like all those weird, like
everybody
all those weird Long Island weirdos and shit. We all meet up with them in Yankee Stadium.
Like, you know what?
Yeah, like
Shalom.
all those
I'm good right now.
Yeah, we all meet there. Right.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my pieces tell stories. I just really honest with my creation. If I'm gonna make it, it just has to tie in. Like, you know, I like to be comfortable. Even with stuff I wear, like I do a lot of camo stuff. I have on camo. My mom was active duty military. My mom actually would have went full-time military. And my dad made a joke like, "You're not going back to the army." She's like, "Why?" She's like, "Because you're pregnant." And she said, "Huh." She went to the physical and they said, "Miss, you're pregnant."
Oh wow.
And she went reserves for the rest of her life until I went to college. And that's
She your only child?
I was the first child.
You the first
I was the very first one. So
Yeah,
that chick, if it wasn't for that, she would have been active duty from the jump. But I stopped it. So I always paid homage to. I stopped that. Hold on.
Your pop stopped.
My pops knew. He knew.
You know what's so great? Today's Veterans Day.
Word up, yo.
Wow.
Shout out to your mom.
I didn't even think
Shout
about
out,
it. I didn't even talk.
So all of that out there.
But yeah, so like even the camouflage is always very popular, but it's really something to me. Like I spent my whole college career alone because my mom went active duty. And if it wasn't for her doing that, I probably wouldn't have enough money to go to school. So it all worked out. So like it really does tell a story. And then of course, naturally, orange is the best color to go with camo for some reason. So it just works out. It just works out, man.
Orange is a dope color.
Exactly. Color. And
Orange is the color of the Amish podcast.
I'll tell you this though.
I look at the page and all that.
I reached a point where I started thinking mentally with a lot of moves. Like I learned that orange is the color of creativity and energy. So, you know, like they say, even when like drinking out of stuff, like drinks taste better when they're red or in red cups.
Yeah.
Like red is the most tasteful color. So I started to research what colors mean to people. So I went orange.
And a lot of people don't use colors correctly anyway. Like you know, like I don't really wear like a lot of black.
Yeah.
Right? Not saying I love all black, but like I use dark green like it's black. Or I use
Instead,
you know what I mean? Like to use other colors like to so I like that. You know what I'm saying?
There's so many ways to paint a picture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it's funny to talk about orange, right? Like the Amish podcast logo is Doe and I. It's a silhouette, you know, me wearing a hat is his hair and the city backdrop, and it's an orange light because even though everybody thinks the sun is yellow, that should beam orange when it hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it reflects off something because it's so warm. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's such a warming feature. Like, and I think that's what the color orange does.
Completely left.
Yeah. Phone is orange.
Completely left. I learned, it wasn't until my very first trip to LA that I learned that real, pure orange juice is actually orange. All that concentrated shit is yellow as fuck.
Yeah.
When you go to Cali and you get some orange juice, fresh squeezed, that shit is orange.
Sure.
And I always wondered, like, why orange juice yellow?
That shit is yellow.
We not drinking the right orange juice. Real orange juice is orange, I promise you. So yeah, I learned colors are very important when it comes to like, you know, mental and energy and all that other stuff. If you want to get that deep. Only if you want to get that deep. If not, leave it alone.
And I'm just we never ask about it, but we talk about collectives and we talk about creators, right? And you're essentially a part of a team, right? Like you with your peoples, Noel and Tips, and y'all all like one, you know, big collective of people, a group of uptown dudes, right? Noel is homie.
Of course.
I don't know Tips, but I respect him. You know what I'm saying? I knew him as an artist first, like, and then his hat wave is obviously taking over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so like, how did that call come together?
It's so funny because like naturally, I always think of us like the Avengers because naturally I'm always alone. Like I'm Batman and then Superman and Iron Man call me and it's like, I pull up. But that's like the only time I actually get to be a part of a collective. Like, you know, being with people that could also, I could actually bounce ideas off because they don't work for me. They have their own ideas. So when we come through, it's like the All-Star game. You know, like I feel like I always tweet every once in a while, I feel like I was in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my team and I ain't got the next best scorer is Aaron McKee. Like, what am I gonna do? I end up winning one game against the Lakers, but God bless. But when an All-Star break, I get to play with some people that's on my timing. I can pass the ball to you and not worry about anything. And that's how I feel when I go with them. But again, that's organic. Like Noel is my friend from Tips, but we also grew up around a lot of the same people. Like even in the party scene, like being party promoters and stuff like that. Him being from Gun Hill, me from 225th and 219. And then Tips, like low-key my best friend. And we meeting off of just the simple fact that we both were our friends, two friends that had the most sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
And the competition would come in a friendly competition, would come in friends. And to a point where even with the music, I was kind of like his manager at the time, like, at a very young age. Mm-hmm. And it is kind of all tied in because we were all doing brands. We were all creative. He'll do the music. You know, Noel might make the clothes for it. I remember the year I started clothing, Noel might have been the last straw because he said he was going to start his brand the same year. And I was like, yo, can I fuck with you? He said, no. I was like, what? And he would just say, like, you can make your own. He started in 2013 and I figured it out the same year. And here we are. So they all a part of my story. And just for us to be able to come back together and like, we're going on a trip and, you know, I'll be the guy who's with playing number 2 to Tips and helping him running his booth, but I have my own brand. And then Noel's shooting for his new brand and I'll be the model. Or even the same thing with Tips. I was the model for this hat in LA. It just happens. Like we all create collective. If Tips is here talking to a celebrity right now, boom, I pull out my phone and start recording. And if I'm here talking to Jerry Lorenzo, Tips pulls out his phone recording, so we all get content. So we all on the same type of time. And it's just good to have like, you know, the 3 branches of the government at some time. And then there's other people, Cito, and a bunch of other guys that tie into it. But we all have our own creative things going on. And then we tie in when we need to. Yo, Tips, you got some City Jeans shit going on, I'll come with you. You need to do something for Mountain Dew. Here's a design, I don't even care. Like, let's give me a hat. Whatever. We all could design and wear multiple hats. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the most important relationships and groups I'm a part of because I can't do it alone. I can handle my brand alone, but like living and going through this shit alone is hard. There's times I just pop up at Sense just to speak to Ed because we could have the same problems. And we need that in this journey because the average 9-to-5 dude is not gonna understand. And then there's people that have 9-to-5, when I say average, because there's people that have 9-to-5 that they're 9-to-5, they're doing that, but their mindset is on Pluto. It's a whole different thing. There's some people that don't care about. I start telling them about minimums and you tell me about the factory minimums and all this stuff and figuring out design and Photoshop is like, what language are you speaking? And I need to be able to speak to people like that.
No, it's refreshing to hear that, man, because like so many people is in competition with motherfuckers that don't even know they're there. You know, it's like utilize your resources, come together, and like, I mean, I say this the truth. Like, how the fuck do I look like hating on somebody black or brown, like trying to do it? You know what I'm saying? So why not? Especially if you're from the same situation, same things,
I honestly
support each other.
Hate it so much because it's like I'll see like all right. So before I got this spot, I used to drive down this block and look for spots to be in, and I said, wait a minute. I drove from 238 to 219. How many chicken spots were there? 5. How many beef patty spots were there? 9. How many nail shops were there? 8. How many Chinese food restaurants were there? And I remember I'm from 226, and I remember I used to chill in the Chinese store and Kennedy, and next door to each other. You would think that they're competition. Remember the guy from Chinese store came over like, yo, I can get some straws. Gave him straws, and I'm like, yo, it's nice I come in, and I don't eat Chinese because I'm eating Kennedy, but they're not competing. But guess what? Not every day you don't eat the same food. And it started to make sense. It's like, wait a minute. Look how much corner stores and grocery stores there are. They all got the same kind of signs of the same stuff and they can all coexist. Why am I beefing with you? These guys don't beef. Why am I beefing with you for, my brother? Yo, go ahead and make slides, make the jacket, do a flip. Just don't use my logo. Do what you gotta do. Pay homage or ask me questions so we both on the good quality. I don't know what your jacket like mine and they think my joint is garbage because yours is garbage. Come let me help you out. And that's how it is.
Especially when we got enough fucking people that's trying to stop your flow anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So, like,
why put up things against each other and make things harder? I just salute everybody doing something positive. You know what I'm saying? We come from such fucked up situations and such bad that I'm just happy to see good.
And that's another reason why, like, even with me now, I made this spot based on just the creative. So you come in and you got a brand, you want to make something, I'll make it right in the other room. Yeah. I'm the type of guy that if I go out this weekend, I might wear a completely different brand. I keep a fashion show with 5, 6 other brands every year. I got a pop-up shop coming at the end of the month that will be on the news tomorrow, NBC, but by the time it's come out, you might have seen it already.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I pick up all the other brands. All the other brands, and I just want, if I can have this platform, I feel like self-promotion is so whack.
Yeah.
Like coming from even being a party promoter, I never was a fan. If I'm throwing a party, here's the flyer, bro. I got you, but tell some people.
Yeah.
I'd rather that. I never sit here and glorify myself and tell about myself because I know what I'm going through. I know what I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
You tell a story. It sounds better when the chicks is saying something good about you than you telling a bunch of niggas you get all the bitches. Let the bitches talk about you instead.
Word up.
I'm just saying, but that's just how I am. Like I'd rather it be a purpose I'm having and fulfilling and build everybody else up. Use my ladder. It's cool.
Yeah. That's what's up, bro.
Salute to that, man. I think we could rap on that note. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Muggs. Thank you for giving us some time.
Y'all,
Tell the story. It's the Homage
It was
Podcast.
a pleasure meeting you, bro. El just said that he's like, yo, man, y'all need to.
Yo, El, pull up, man.
Word.
Pull up. Pull up. I need to see that in the Nick game. Stop playing with me. Hey, what up?
Peace.
Love, y'all.